Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to prepare cheesy keto-friendly enchiladas. And we're also going to prepare a batch of regular enchiladas. So if you would like to see how to prepare this recipe, continue watching this video and let's get started. We're going to start out by roasting 3 poblano peppers. And these are very large, so with these poblano peppers, I'm going to be able to make 2 enchiladas from each one. We're going to roast them over medium heat until they're nice and blistered on all sides. You can also roast them over an open flame, in the oven, or an air fryer. During the process, you want to turn them over often so they can roast evenly on all sides. Once they're nice and blistered on all sides, transfer them to a plastic bag similar to this one. Seal it and let them rest for 20 minutes or until they're cool enough to handle. Placing them in a plastic bag is going to help the peppers sweat and it's going to make it a lot easier to peel once they cool down. And while we're waiting for the peppers to cool down, we're going to get started on the sauce. Add 4 cups of water to a medium saucepan, 6 Chile Guajillos, and to give it a little spice, we're going to add 4 Chiles de Arbol. This is optional. If you don't want it spicy, you can leave the Chiles de Arbol out. Once it reaches the boiling point, we're going to remove them from the burner and we're going to let them soak in the hot water until they cool down. For the cheese filling, we're going to be using Los Altos Queso Panela. I chose this one because it has bits of jalapeno in the cheese and that's just going to add even more flavor to the enchiladas. They also carry queso panela without the jalapeno, so you can choose whichever one you prefer. We're going to begin by slicing 1 pound of queso panela, then dicing it into smaller pieces like this. Transfer it to a bowl. Add half a cup of finely minced onion, 1/4 cup of finely minced cilantro, and 2 tablespoons of chili flakes. On the chili flakes, you can add more or less depending on your level of spice. Give it a good mix until all the ingredients are well combined and set aside. Once your peppers have completely cooled down, transfer them to the blender. Add 1/4 of an onion, 2 large garlic cloves, 2 cubes of chicken bouillon, 1 teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of cumin, and 1 cup of water from the saucepan that we boiled the peppers in. Blend for a good 30 seconds to a minute or until you have a nice smooth sauce. Strain it back into the saucepan. I'm also going to add 1 cup of water to the blender to get the remainder of the sauce that's stuck to the side of the blender. Pour it over the strainer and using a spoon move it around to get it through the strainer a little bit faster. Or you can also give it a few good taps, that also seems to help. Once all the sauce has gone through the strainer, discard of the pulp. Simmer over medium heat for about 10 minutes or until your sauce has a light thickness. If you want your sauce a little bit thicker, you can add a little bit of cornstarch. Just make sure to dissolve it in a little bit of water before adding it to the pan, otherwise you're going to have lumps in your sauce. Now that our peppers have cooled down, we're going to remove them from the bag and we're going to begin to peel each one. The skin should fall off fairly easily, but if you're having a hard time removing the skin, you can use a small paring knife to scrape off the skin. Once we have the skin removed from all 3 of the peppers, we're going to move on to cleaning the inside of the pepper. And for that, we're going to need a small paring knife. Trim off the stem, make a small incision on the side to open the pepper to remove the seeds and the vines. Cut it in half. If the pepper is too small, you can just leave it whole. Trim the tip of the pepper to make it easier to fold. Place it aside and repeat the process with the remainder of the peppers. Instead of discarding the tips of the peppers, I chopped them into small pieces and added them to the white rice that I prepared for the enchiladas. Add a spoonful of the cheese mixture that we prepared earlier right in the middle of the pepper. Fold it close. Turn it over to keep it closed, then repeat the process with the second piece. Transfer it to a baking dish with the flaps down. Pour a spoonful of the sauce over the enchiladas and top it off with your favorite melting cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar, but you can use any other type of melting cheese that you prefer. Now we're going to move on to the non-keto enchiladas, and for that we're going to heat up a small amount of vegetable oil over medium heat. Add a couple spoonfuls of the sauce to the bottom of the baking dish. Lightly fry each one of your tortillas on each side until they're nice and pliable. You don't want to over fry them because then they're going to be hard to fold. As you're frying your tortillas, you want to transfer them to a plate. Once you have a good amount of tortillas, we're going to begin to prepare the enchiladas. One of the questions I get asked quite a bit is, why do I fry the tortillas? Frying them first is going to keep them from falling apart once you add the enchilada sauce. The only difference between these and the keto-friendly enchiladas is the tortilla. If you're looking for another option other than the peppers, you can also use low-carb flour tortillas. Those are available in most grocery stores in the tortilla aisle. When placing your enchilada into the baking dish, you want to place it with the flap down. Give it a nice gentle press to keep it from unrolling. Once your baking dish is full, pour the remainder of the sauce over the enchiladas. Top it off with your favorite melting cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar, but you can use any other type of melting cheese that you prefer. Bake at 350 degrees for 10 minutes or until the cheese is nice and melted. With the amount of ingredients we used, we made 12 regular enchiladas and 6 keto-friendly enchiladas. Enjoy them with your favorite keto-friendly side dish or with a side of rice. For this ones, we're going to top them off with lettuce, tomato, sour cream, and a little bit of cilantro. And enjoy. And now for the taste test. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. And if you did, give me a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and would like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future recipes. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much, and I'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching.